Hi guys, this is Ishai Breslauer, a commercial real estate entrepreneur, and welcome to the Young Entrepreneurs Common Mistakes series. Let's start. So today's topic is, are you an entrepreneur? Not everyone is an entrepreneur. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. Actually, there's nothing wrong taking a 9-to-5 job or even being a top person in a big firm or a big corporation. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, there's something beautiful about that. And talking from experience, you could be great at that. But a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, and that's sort of the top calling because that's what builds an economy, builds a country's economy. So let's get into that for a second. Why everyone wants to be an entrepreneur? And the answer is very, very simple. People see online all kind of videos like this one or other ones, or they see all kind of ads, and they see people who succeeded, whether they made millions from real estate, commercial real estate, or people went and made an online business, or they made a startup. They have a very successful startup, and they made billions of dollars from selling that startup. You see this story about those two kids in the garage, like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and all these kids, meaning they're not kids anymore, but all these kids of today that are gonna be, and the people who have made millions and billions of dollars, and they are under 30 years of age. And you're saying to yourself, I can do this too. And maybe that's true, but maybe it's not. So here's what I want to talk about today. Why are you an entrepreneur? Why are you not an entrepreneur? So here's the first thing. First of all, a lot of people think this is easy. Well, it's not. It's not an easy thing to be an entrepreneur. And the first thing you have to tell yourself is there are going to be a lot of roadblocks on the go. A lot of things are going to happen. Things are going to say, oh, cool, he did it, so I can do that too. In the background, as we call it, in front of the camera, there's only the beauty, the marketing, the talk, the chit chat, all that stuff is in front of the camera. But behind the scene, you have the attorneys, you have the agreements, you have the LLCs, you have all these annoying things that people have to do, as well as the grinding, which I'm going to get to. So that's the first thing people have to think about. Hey guys, just 1 second. Hate bothering you listening to this important video. Would really appreciate if you could subscribe and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's continue. The second thing people have to think about is the long-term, short-term aspect. What does that mean? A lot of people thinking, I'm going to make money fast. That's it. I'm going to make the money. It's going to happen to me really, really quickly. Within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, everything is going to fly and skyrocket. Okay, that's a great thing to think of, and that's setting goals. It's nice, but you also have to be realistic. Nothing happens overnight, and you have to be in it for the long-term game. You can't say it's going to happen fast. That's another reason why people think, I want to be an entrepreneur. It's going to happen to me fast. So the next thing is being all in. What does that mean, being all in? And I'm assuming you guys are also fans of Shark Tank. I'm a big fan of Shark Tank. I love Shark Tank. But I love when Mark Cuban says, he tells all these entrepreneurs, he tells them, are you all in? Listen to this question. Are you all in? And being all in means the following. Obviously, a lot of people are not leaving their jobs when they start a new business. But there's a huge difference between a very, very, very beginning, when you still have the job and you're having this idea. Once you get out of this 9-to-5 job, 9-to-8 job, doesn't matter what. When you leave that job, you have to be all in until the morning after, until this business is up and running. But once you are able, even a little bit, you have a little bit of income, and it's not great, but you have a business and you have to run it, you have to quit your job. Not a lot of people are capable of doing it, and that's why a lot of people are not designed to be entrepreneurs. And that is a big thing. And that's why Mark Cuban asked them, are you all in? And if they tell them, I have a job, I have this, I have that, and they're distracted by all kinds of things, he tells them, you're not all in, I'm out. I'm not getting into this investment. It's very important to understand that if you have a business or endeavor and you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to be all in. That is a very important aspect. Are you all in? Are you not all in? Ask yourself 50 times this question, because if the answer is not yes every time, don't do it. The next thing I want to talk about is being focused on the money versus on the product or service. A lot of people say, I want to make millions, billions, whatever it is. And they're focused on making the money. That is very good and that is very nice, and it's a huge motivator, huge motivator. But I want you to understand one very important aspect, okay? The money will not give you this enthusiasm to wake up in the morning. That will not happen. That will not happen. What will get you up in the morning is the fact that you love what you do and you want to give the product or service, and you want to give the best service to the people you're providing it to. Thinking about I want to make money is not good enough. You have to understand it's just not good enough, because wanting to make money will not make the business. Again, money will come when you want to give your all to the business and to the product or service you want to give. Be aware of that, and that is the most important thing. So put this in your head. This is the most important thing. The money will come along. Don't worry about that. But this is something you have to understand. It's very, very important. Okay, so now to the next thing. The next thing is the power to pivot. And I want to talk about this for a little bit. Please listen. Look at what's happening to the world. While I'm recording this, COVID is happening outside in the world, right? Listen to me. The power to pivot means that the business could shift overnight. So many industries changed. Some examples. Let's take, for example, you have the cassette player with the headphones. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. And then we had the disc player, and that was weird, you know, walking around with this huge disc player. That was like, what is it? But anyways, then came Steve Jobs with the MP3 players, the iPod, all these things came along, and those crushed the other industries. Do you have the power to pivot? Do you have the power to change your business because you love your client enough? And that's not being in love with your product. And everyone's problem is being in love with their product, but not with their client. The person, the people that they have to give service to, these are the important people, the important component in your business. And you have to think about them in order to make a better business. And that's the power to pivot, because if the service is dying, it's because things shifted in the world and because their interests shifted. Can you shift your product according to their interests? That is a huge thing. So you have to understand, not everyone is an entrepreneur. Not everyone is designed to be an entrepreneur. Do you have those powers? Can you wake up in the morning and think, I'm going to crush it, I'm going to kill it every single day? Not everybody can do it, okay? So that is something you have to ask yourself. Is it in me? Is it something I want to do? Maybe your thing is to wake up in the morning and being a top person in a firm that you want to work at and to get a salary. And that is not, there's nothing wrong with that. Some people make millions from that. Maybe that's your calling, but dealing with all these details and pivoting along the way and doing all these things that you have to do, the technicalities, building teams, all these things that we're going to talk about, it's not for everybody. Some people can do it and some people can't do it, and that's okay. Some people are better in other things, and that's why, by the way, the world is run that way. That's why you have that person who is an entrepreneur, is building the business, and this is the top guy, of course, but that's why other people have different skills that he does not have, and he'll be able to hire them, that they can make the business great. Who are you? That's a big question. Not everyone is an entrepreneur. And if you are an entrepreneur, good for you, but you have to understand you're here for the long haul. And let's see the next video. Let's get to the next things. Young entrepreneurs, common mistakes. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.